now.
What we on? It's your man, Big Clip Eastwood, aka Mr. Graybeards Matter. Yeah, we back in this joint, man. We was gone last week because we had to go out of town and take care of some family business, but we back. Through all the trials and tribulations of the week, you did. I'm gonna give myself a round of applause. We starting it up. We're gonna get in the groove, man. It's Friday. It's happy hour. It's Graybeards Matter. Where we are the mature authority. Don't you worry about nothing. Come on into the Matterverse, huh? We had to. We lost one. It's all good though. We're not even tripping. Man, I tell you what. This week's episode is like on point for myself just to trying to get to this point of the day. So I'm sure somebody else can relate to it, right? So if you're a Monday through Friday or Saturday through Sunday or hell, you just got through the day, give yourself a round of applause. Yeah, you give yourself a round of applause. Sometimes you just gotta keep from crying, you did? And you know what it is, man. We on, man. Hey, yo, what's good, Bump Riffic? I missed your call earlier, man. I was doing some training, man. They trying to get your boy out, get somebody else right. But we here, though. My man, my fellow Graybeards, man, my first episode partner in real life. Bump Riffic, was good with you, man. Thanks for being here today, good brother. We talking our talk today, man. Missed the good people in the Graybeards Matterverse last week. We was out of town taking care of business, though. So we're going to take care of our business tonight. We just going to groove for a little bit, try to get some folk in here. Yeah, no doubt. Be on that, Bump. How's our audio, Bump? Give me a thumbs up or something if you would, good brother. I see you got a fellow partner in here. A fellow viewer. I ain't gonna call it a partner. You know, you might like the single life. But we in here though. I like that joint. We'll spin that back. But we cool. We chillin'. We ain't gonna do that too much. What's good, man? It's Friday. Give yourselves a round of applause for getting here to the happy hour of the Graybeards Matter podcast. Episode 14. We're gonna talk our talk today, and I can dig it. I mean, it ain't my way. It's just my opinion. I need to holler at myself on this one. You there? Let's see here what we got. We got 4 minutes and 40 seconds. I'm gonna give them about 45, and then we're gonna get to it. I ain't gonna keep you out here too long tonight. It's not a long talk, but just a good one. You know what I mean? We're gonna break it down and understand how we got to this point for the month. Definitely gonna be a series. Y'all see what it is, man. Y'all see what it is. All right, man, let's get to it. We 5 minutes into it. 6 o'clock is our start time. Yeah. I got both my good men in here. What's good? Shoebox Customs in the building, man. Shoebox Customs is in the building. You need music. You need, what you gonna say, Chuck? Basic motorcycle maintenance and work, customization. Holla at my man, Shoebox Customs. Y'all see him, it's a vibe. You can ship it to him, or you can call you on the phone. Y'all can get it together. He's down in the DFW area. Slap, bars, rims. You got the plug on everything you need for your two-wheel motorcycle. Yo, what's good? Mo Hunter's in the building. Chocolate drop, baby. Give yourselves a round of applause for getting through the week. Give me some high five. All right, y'all know what it is. Hey, Overdig, man, I'm gonna have you gonna keep us too long in a happy hour. We gonna get to our good time, bro. You see what it is. There, boom. So over there, man, last month we had a lot of great conversations, right? The topics were intentional, but I didn't really plan on it going in the series that it did. So as I reflected upon what we spoke on and the topics we talked about and how the interactions was dope, then I said, all right, that's what I'm going to do for next month intentionally. But before I get started on that, I'm going to give a shout out to my young homegirls back at the crib at Omaha North going to the finals in the States. You know what I'm saying? Oh, yeah, yeah, you know what it is, Mo. Give yourself a round of applause. That's a high five. High five for the little folk. You know what I mean? For sure. Hey, so, well, my bad, I didn't call you little. You know. But don't trip on nothing. We good, man. Shout out to my homegirls, man. Back north, man. Them babies out there going to the state finals. There's a little controversy in their game tonight. If you know where I'm from, you can understand what I'm saying. They are North Omaha school, and they played a non-North Omaha school, and they had a little subliminal message about, try to do the Penn State thing, all white joint, you know what I'm saying? Publicly, socially. But them babies went down there against all odds and adversities, and did what they did. So they'll be in the finals tomorrow. Go Vikes. You know what it is. It's your man Big Cliff Eastwood, aka Mr. Gray Beards Matter. And welcome to episode 14 of the Gray Beards Matter podcast, where we are the mature authority and we ain't worried about nothing. That I was saying, man, last month, man, we went through a series of conversations where we got it in, man. We had the streets versus the sidewalk. We had job versus responsibility. And we had respect versus principle, right? The dialogue was dope. The exchange was dope. The perspectives was dope. And, it wasn't my way, just my opinion. And then we had a lot of chance to get it in, right? And we also started what we called the Hot Five at 6. My man, Big Shoebox Customs, was one of the first two to get it in. And I appreciate you for doing that, good brother. So what I decided to do, because the feedback was so good last month, and I understand that people, they don't lack effort. They lack the tough choices that they have to make between things and distinguishing what's really good. So I am going to go forward this month. We call this a contrast series. Each week we're going to have a versus. This tonight is going to be comfort versus growth. And we're going to talk about it. We're going to see how those two correlate with what you got going on in your life, right? So today for me, right out the gate, I'm saying, man, I had a whole new plan about what I thought this presentation for this episode was going to be, right? And I was real comfortable with what I have been presenting in the last couple episodes versus the first couple episodes, but I know where I was trying to go, right? So what I could tell you is poor preparation promotes piss poor performance. And sometimes when you're not as proficient in certain areas as you need to be, then you can have unexpected challenges that can delay, not deny, your growth. But when you are prepared, you still put yourself in a position to win and have a product that you can be satisfied with. Not content, but satisfied. So here we are tonight on the Gray Beards Matter episode 14, talking about comfort versus growth. What's really good with it, right? We're gonna start off with this here, right? Comfort versus growth. You gotta excuse the paper. I got my. Hey, y'all, what's good? What up, Big Neo is in the building. My man, hey, congratulations, dog, man. You doing a great job with them babies, girl, and out there getting it in, man, in the real life blue collar entrepreneurship way. My man, Big Real is in the building. What's good, you bro? I'm gonna holler at you in a little bit when we get done with this thing, man. We're gonna do a little celebration if you're available. Swamp, you know what it is, man. They gonna understand real quick, like. And again, man, we're talking about comfort versus growth, right? Let's get right to it. The fact of the matter is, if you're really being honest with yourself, those two, being comfort and growth, cannot exist in the same space as long. Can't happen. Impossible. Um, Check it. Comfort has never ruined your life loudly. It does it in a quiet manner, right? Because we get complacent in our comfort. We get comfortable, right? We don't see everything as opportunities, or we don't see everything as the opportunities that they can present themselves to be because we get comfortable, right? But then growth doesn't always feel good. Basic talk, gym, working out, health, eating, don't always feel good. It don't taste good, but it's good for you. That's why people don't want to choose the growth, because comfort makes them feel good. It's not a challenge to them. But then you got to ask yourself, what are you really talking about? Do you talk your talk, or you just chatting when you say you want to grow, or you really cool where you are because you're comfortable? I don't know. I'm just talking about it. You know what I'm saying? Oh, you no doubt. I'm no for sure, good brother. Um, I'm happy that you're here, man. Understand? Comfort has layers, right? So we're not going to generalize comfort or growth to just one specific definition, right? So we're gonna go kind of around the block a little bit. We're gonna come to a conclusion in the end. And I hope that you can dig what I'm saying. But in the end, in about 2 or 3 minutes, I'm gonna go into the comments and see what kind of exchange we got. Um, excuse me, exchange that we have. Types of comforts that you have. You can have emotional comfort, right, where you're avoiding the hard conversations, right? You staying silent to keep the peace and all that. You're not addressing disrespect. It's emotional comforts. Financial comforts is you staying somewhere too long because you know that check is coming. The job security, all that. But what is it though? Right? If you have the opportunity to do something else, but you're comfortable because you don't want to push yourself. You want to jump out there, and I don't want to get too far ahead of my other little bullets. But yeah, financial security, financial comfort. Then you got personal comfort, gym or health discipline, um, marital or relationship efforts, uh, just personal goals in general. What's your fire? Like, do you get caught up with being comfortable, or do you dim your light, or you dim your fire because you don't want to put that work in? I mean, these are questions that I have to ask myself, and I'm asking you too. So I'm gonna take a pause for the cause and let you keep it a buck with yourself, right? Because in this matterverse, we have the opportunity to reflect on really what's good without everybody being in there, right? Or being in our thoughts and our minds, because it's not an open forum per se. We just had an opportunity to chime in the comments and keep it a buck if you want to. This is a no judgment zone. Nobody has heaven or hell to throw you in by asking the question. We just talking about it. It's not my way, just my opinion. You know what I'm saying? Please feel free to give me yours. I'm with all that. Uh, so let me say this. Comfort protects you. Hold on, let me see here. Comfort protects who you are today, but growth challenges you to be somebody new. Again, comfort protects who you are today, but growth challenges you to become someone new. What does that mean, Eastwood? It's simple. Comfort, or being comfortable, or comfortability will rock you to sleep, man. You know what I mean? It'll let you sit in. It's like your grandpa's chair when you was coming up. Oh hell, it might be some of y'all chairs right now. I got one I'm looking at. When I get in that chair, man, in my mind, I'm good for the day. I done put my work in. Put my little blanket on, grab the remote. You know what I'm saying? I'm comfortable. Rock me to sleep every time. No question. But if I'm on my feet, and I'm trying to figure something out, do something around the crib, do something in the garage, do something for the podcast, do something for my health, do something where I can find a better way, you know, where I don't have the answer. That's an uncomfortable feeling, but in order to seek those answers, I gotta have a little growth, right? And then sometimes when you're looking for that growth because you don't have the answer, you are inexperienced. Then you expose yourself to certain people, but how much of your ego prevents you from doing that? I don't know. We just talking. My man, my mentor, in so many aspects of life. Good friend of mine, K Solo the Rider. Welcome to the Gray Beards Matter podcast, good brother. Thanks for tuning in. We just talking about comfort versus growth tonight, man. Episode 14 of Where We Are, the Mature Authority. Give yourself a round of applause for coming through the week, man. That was a dope episode you had last night, man. So everybody here, if you're not familiar with my man K Solo the Rider, he has an awesome podcast, man, where they talk motorcycles, talk both from a biking standpoint, from a teaching you how to ride and letting you know who you think you are and let you know who you really ain't. Right? These men and women are true examples of what a motorcyclist is about. Right? It's not based off of race, gender, creed, or anything along those lines. It's not about your bike brand or what you may be involved in. Clubs, all that other stuff is irrelevant over there. It's an educational um, motorcycle podcast where you can get it in, man. And you have an awesome guest that gives you the information in the game that you can apply to your motorcycle lifestyle, regardless of what it is. Check them out. Thanks for coming, good brother. Where we at here? So, dig, right? Sometimes when you trying to talk about comfort versus growth, we stay comfortable not because we're satisfied, because growth requires us to confront things that we don't want to address, right? We can get right back to this. Let's keep it generic, right? Because I don't want everybody to get too personal, but you know, when you're in my age bracket, there's certain things that you need to take care of, right? In order to maintain your health and your good physical being. And that can be uncomfortable, but a lot of times we get caught up on who we used to be in a different age bracket. When you in your teens and your 20s, well, you know, I'm a little removed from that. Hell, I'm a little removed from the 20s and the 30s. But if I don't make myself uncomfortable to grow in other aspects of life and other aspects of grow in the lane that allows me to be productive, then I am cheating myself and all those around me because the availability of me becomes lessened, right? It's pure life, and I'm not cool with that. I'm cool with that knowledge, right? So it's on me. I can make 1,000 or more excuses of what not to do or why I don't want to do it because I want to be comfortable and just rock myself to sleep. But we talked about that. Most people say they want growth, right? And that's a common theme of life. Most people say they want growth, but what do the actions show? Let's talk about it. Most people say they want growth. What do their actions show? Their actions show that they're comfortable. Their actions show that they're good where they are. Their actions show that me saying that I want growth 8 times out of 10 is not for myself, but for those who I'm talking to, so they don't think that I'm slacking or stagnant, satisfied or content. Nah, that's not the truth, man. You ain't got to talk about it. Your actions show what you don't want. Yeah. Let's get in these comments real quick. My man Neil say, yo, for sure, good brother. No doubt, no doubt, no doubt. No doubt. Good man in general. You know what I'm saying? A lot of times people don't understand that what's all it is. Good Neil. But you know that's a topic for a different day. But it's coming though. I promise you that, good brother. Today, let's acknowledge again that you cannot have comfort and growth in the same space too long. It is impossible, right? You can. Let's say you have a goal, right? So we talked about before in a different episode that sometimes people don't accomplish their goals because the goals is too big. They don't accomplish their goals because they didn't reward themselves with small trophies along their path, right? So let's say that you set a goal when you're trying to grow and you get there to whatever goal that you set forth, and you stay there for a while. You take a deep breath, like you made it, like you really done something, like you breaking your arm, patting yourself on the back, like you know you got the Mike Tyson in the game. But what? But what then? Right? When I speak of the Mike Tyson in the game metaphor, when for us men who used to do the little boxing joint, we got the Mike Tyson, and like what's next? But a lot of times, people in life they feel that they've accomplished something, and they get to the pinnacle of what they were thinking at that time, and they say, "I'm good." But that's not. That's, I hope that's not the case. Or you can be proud of yourself, but don't be satisfied or content, because then you're rocking yourself to sleep because you get comfortable. Every day we get a choice and a chance to grow in some form or fashion to make us a better person than we were yesterday. But don't get me wrong, I'm not gonna sit here and tell you that my shit don't stink. That's not true. For sure. Excuse my language, mama, but uh, it's the facts, man. We get a choice and a chance. I got to give me 1 second, man. I got to get to these comments. My good peoples is here. What's up, Cass? I'm without going into a whole bunch of detail. I want you to know that I know you did, and you already know what it is. I'm gonna see you soon on that for sure. My man, my good man. Yeah, we're gonna get right back to it. But I see you guys. Much love. What is comfort? We didn't talk about a couple two things. We already talked about the different layers of comfort: financial, personal, emotional, and all that, right? But comfort is this here too, right? Comfort is familiar routine. Comfort is avoiding risk, and it's protecting what you already have. Right? Again, familiar routines, avoiding risk, protecting what you already have. That's comfort. That's what comfort looks like. And these just words according to Cliff Eastwood, aka Mr. Gray Bears Matter. You ain't gotta agree with it, just my opinion, not my way. But in my vintage years, I think I got a little bit of insight on what's going on, but that's what we're here for. So what is growth? Growth is discomfort, right? Growth growth is learning. Growth, learning new things. It's being willing to be unexperienced in front of somebody else, right? So comfort feels safe because we already know how to, how to navigate there. And growth requires us to uh, become open to the challenges. We have to be able to accept that we don't have the answer in the beginning. We might have the objective, but the challenges are going to be just what they are designed to be, a challenge. So therefore, you know, when you challenge some people, they choose the path of least resistance and get comfortable and stay where they are because they don't want to put forth that effort and get out the emperor's new clothes and be content where they are because they might not be built for the challenge. And then they get back to that rhetoric in open public and say, "Yeah, I'm on all the smoke. I'm with that. Give me that. The dog in me." No, it's not true. You want to be comfortable. But when you are comfortable, then what you got to do, you have to understand that at the end of the day, when you close the doors, you turn off your laptop and your cell phone and you get your in the bed and you put your head on that pillow, all the excuses are gone because you know whether you were comfortable or you grew that day. I don't know. I'm not an accountant. I ain't trying to figure it out. Um, and it's easier to blame circumstances. extent to improve your discipline. But what you mean by that, Eastwood? We didn't set it in similar fashions in this episode as that. You got to stay in some different organizations that I won't break down too much, but you can blame anything on everybody else, right? You can blame it on circumstances. You can blame it on people. You can blame it on uh, misperceived lack of opportunities. But then you got to ask yourself, while you call yourself being comfortable, you saying, Mrs. or Mrs. I'm good over here, or Mr. and Mrs. I ain't ready for that, or Mr. and Mrs. that's above my pay grade. Well, those are self-proclamations that you made true. And if you speak that, like everything else, it can and possibly will come into existence. You know what I'm saying? But at the same time, on the flip side of that, if you speak that you can accomplish something, or you set yourself a goal, or you say to yourself, yo, I gotta do this. This has to be done in order for me to, you fill the blank in. I might not be familiar with it, but I gotta do it. So I gotta, you fill the blank in order for me to get into that different bracket, or me to get that house, or to stack that 401k, or be able to knock off these credit cards and change my DTI, right? Make my life easier, so I ain't got to fuss about how these checks week to week or every 2 weeks don't seem to go nowhere because I got so much going out. Maybe you just comfortable there knowing that you got a couple dubs to get you a couple pieces of food and put in your fridge, and sit in the house until the next one come out. Nah, man. But let's just say you don't use one of them pieces of plastic, and you set it to the side this week. Where you take one of them 3 or 4 dubs, 20s, whatever y'all want, and you say, you know what? Last week I ain't saved none, but I'm gonna take one of these 20s and put it to the side. All right, cool. That means I can go to, I don't know, you name the fast food joint, which wasn't no good for you to begin with. And then when you get to the next week, you say you do the same thing. And then you do that 2 more times that month. So now you're at $80. So instead of making that $35 minimum payment, you put 80 on, or you double down on your payment. Now your credit card personnel is looking at you like you're trying to really make an effort on your credit card. What's the word I'm looking for? On your credit card amount being decreased, right? Then you're like, damn, man, I missed out on so much. But you have the discipline in order to grow yourself, to grow your credit score by saving just a little bit of effort. And it goes a long way, man. And so then we just get combining all these episodes together again. We talk about the small trophies and the principal versus the job. Like, yo, what's good with us? Are we comfortable? We just chatting about growth, or we really want to grow to be uncomfortable, be disciplined in the progress, in the process that we're trying to get to? I mean, I can't. Hey, all I know is, for example, today I had a whole scheme on how I was going to structure this particular episode, right? But I'm not an IT guy, and I ain't spent a whole bunch of bread to get to this point, and I didn't have to, right? But what I should have done is sought a little bit more counseling on how to make things happen that I know that I want to have done, right? And then when you do that part, when you're trying to grow your brand, or you grow your intentions, sometimes you gotta reach out a little bit, right? You can't take for granted that what you were doing is going to be conducive to what you want to do, right? So inherently, when you don't do that, you delay your gratification, right? I'm not going to say deny, because that's not what I subscribe to. I'm going to say I delayed it, but now I'm even more hungry for it because I could see it. I could feel it. It was right there in front of me. I could see the results of what I wanted, right? I could see the results of being uncomfortable. I could see the discipline and going on with it. But then, right when you get to the end, just when you get comfortable and thinking you got it, nah. Yo, Eastwood, chill, bruh. You almost there, big dog. And what that does to a person like myself, that I can attest for Shoebox Customs, that I can attest for K Solo, the 100,000 mile Hoka Hay champion, is that almost ain't good enough. Almost ain't comfortable. We want to continue to grow. But back to these comments when we close it out, man. My man Neo says, being productive is so important for me mentally. When I am accomplished at the end of the day, week, or whatever time period it took for me to complete my task, personal, spiritual, professional, etc., is empowering, and I get excited to tackle my next task. Hey, yo, hey, Neo, hey, dog, let me say you something. I got you by a couple, 2, 3 months, right? That's what we're gonna go with. Mind your business. Don't tell our business. We as I'm gonna say we as men. No disrespect to the women watching or that may watch. We as men, we don't require much to be motivated, right? It doesn't have to be a tangible thing. It can be just an understanding of knowing that our efforts weren't wasted in any realm of life, right? Because our personal relationship with ourselves is what motivates us to want to do something for somebody else, dog. And I can't tell you that I was always there. I was comfortable worrying about me, right? I was comfortable knowing that at the end of the day, when it's time to scratch that line and go to get busy in whatever, I was cool because the people to my left, to my right, knowing that I don't mind being the tip of the spear, right? Because I was comfortable with that fact of knowing that it's me, right? That I was going to put myself in a position in life that I can have a skill set to make sure that everybody's going to get back to where they needed to be to, right? But the growth in me let me understand that that comes with a certain expectation. And what's expectation for me? I like to say expectation is the first step towards disappointment. But if I expect of myself and I don't come through with it, who else can I charge? But when I put expectations on others and they don't come through, well, that's different. And when I did that, I had to understand that I was charging people for being something that they may not have been. They were comfortable in their space. They were comfortable with knowing who they was around. And then that'll give me a certain disposition that may make me look at them differently because I gave them too much in the beginning. But the growth in me, yeah, lets me know that you can't charge everybody the same or charge them to be who you are because you will set yourself up because they just might not be that. And that's cool. It's cool that you know, right? And when you know, you lower with your expectations. So then they got less chance to disappoint you. And that's growth for you. So getting back to your point, your brother, is that when you out here, man, and you can make an effort that you get paid from an intangible sense more so than a tangible, where you see the smile of somebody else, where you feel the appreciation, right? Not the expectation, because that's bullshit. When you expect more than you appreciate, it doesn't motivate me to want to do nothing. You will absolutely get nothing in return of what you say that you want, because I know that you don't appreciate the efforts. But then I had to go back to my growth, right? I was putting myself in a situation where I was doing too much, and I was comfortable with that. But the growth in me says, well, when I realized them people or personnel or a group of people didn't appreciate the efforts going out, then I get on my 1-2. Nah, mm, sometimes it don't be worth it, right? So you find yourself saying, all right, Eastwood, what have you learned? What have you grown from? What do you desire to grow from? What do you desire to grow into? What kind of example can you be for yourself to be a better example for somebody else, right? How can the gray beards matter influence and affect at least a dialogue? All right, cool. So that's where we are, and it's cool, man. You know what I'm saying? Like I got to put my medicine back on. I can't even find out what I did with them. What we do with my medicine? Come on, Eastwood. Where we at? Damn. Neil, what you doing with my glasses? There they go. Yo, brother, yes, sir. Yes, sir. I am on YouTube, man. I'm glad you asked that. If I can get on your line at a certain point, man, I love. I got some growing to do, and I'm proud of the template that you have shown me for sure. But yes, sir, I am on YouTube, and so please, everybody here, man. I'm finally got to 55, 56 subscribers, man. I'm trying to get to 100. I don't have no problem doing a shameless plug. Gray Beards Matter on YouTube and Overdig. Right, every 50, I'm gonna draw names from the entire list and send somebody some merch. Right, all the way up to 500. Every 50, I'm gonna draw a name and I'm gonna send somebody something. If you local, hand to hand, no pressure. If you out of town or too far or in the opposite direction of where I'm going, I'm gonna drop it in the mail. All I need is your mailing address. Nothing else, because I appreciate you. And the Gray Beards Matterverse. You know what I mean? Not the metaverse, it's the Matterverse. Right? So in closing, because we've been on this jump, man, about 38 minutes. Hey Neo, you still there? Yo, give me a thumbs up if you are good, brother. Hey Neo, holler at me if you still there. I, I might, you might be the name drawn tonight, and if you're not, that's cool. But in closing, though, right? Let me tell you something. Um, the older I get, the more I realize comfort ain't always peace. Sometimes comfort is just familiar. Familiarity can keep you stuck longer than fear. I'm gonna say that one more time. The older I get, the more I realize comfort ain't always peace, right? Because sometimes, and what I mean by that, you can't BS yourself. So when you in a garage or you in that recliner, you're thinking to yourself, "Damn, Eastwood, what could you have done? What could you have? What more effort could you have done?" Let's talk gyms talk, right? Because my man Solo in here, the foxhole is in the building. Let's say when I went to the gym today, I ain't hadn't been in the gym because I was on travel last week. All right, cool. And I didn't want to go in because I didn't want to have my muscles too sore. I ain't really stretch, but you got the good music in your ear, and music calms the savage beast, but at the same time, it can awaken it, and you like, damn, all right, that ain't hurt too bad, and you go from one plate to two, and you're like, I ain't gonna do no more than that because that might make my muscles hurt, right? Then you get to the crib and you like, man, my muscles don't hurt. I ain't tired. Damn, I could have done a little more today. Then I gotta wait until the next day because I was BSing. So it ain't peaceful when you can be when you're being honest with yourself. Comfort ain't peace. I don't care. It's just my opinion. You might have something else going on. My opinion is comfort isn't peace. It's familiar. Familiarity will rock your ass to sleep. Then you'll be short. All that time that when you just call yourself being comfortable, to go right by you. Don't let that happen. So, yo, dig, man, that was Great Bears Matter episode 14, where we are the mature authority talking about comfort versus growth, man. I'm gonna go ahead on and lock this joint in, man, and say the link to my to YouTube when I do my little post production. It's gonna come around. But my man Neo Cigar, man, I got this thing, man, that I started a couple weeks ago, bro. It's called the Hot Five at 6. And what it is, man, is I'm gonna call you up. I'm gonna call you in the messenger, because I don't want everybody seeing your number possibly. And I'm gonna ask you 5 questions from from a series of topics I'm gonna let you choose from. I ain't called you today. This ain't scripted. We just gonna talk our talk, man. Just talk the first thing that comes to your mind. You with it? Let me see here if I can pull my good brother Neo up here. I don't want to do it on that. Let me see here. Neo Cigar. I know you right here, good brother. Boom. Let me call the good man.
What's going on, big brother?
Hey, what's good with you, baby boy?
What's going on, man?
Hey, man.
Just parked the truck, you know?
Yeah, I'm already sharp, man. Hey, I'm at this point in my show, man. I got this thing called the High Five at 6, man. And I ask you 5 questions, and we take it from there. You with it?
Alrighty, yes, sir. I'm with it.
All right, cool. Let me pull these questions up and give you some categories you might want to function in.
Yes,
Where
sir.
we at? Where we at? Where we at? Let me see here. Nope. So these are I'm gonna give you some topics. You let me know which one you want to go with, and we go from there. Bet.
Okay, bet.
First options are discipline and standards, or responsibility and character, or self-awareness and growth, or street to growth lens.
And what was the last one again?
Street to growth.
Street to growth. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Or you got one more for you. Pressure versus perspective.
And can you be a little bit can you just give me a quick like synopsis on pressure versus perspective? I actually like that one.
Okay, so there's 10 questions there. So if that's the category that you want, then I'm gonna ask you 10. I'm gonna ask you 5 questions out of those 10, and you just talk your talk. If it's one word answers, then cool. If you got a little something you want to add onto the sauce, then cool. There.
Okay.
That's your category?
Yep, let's go with that one.
All right, bet. When were you last wronged and no, I'm not gonna do that. That'd be too personal. Are you disciplined in private?
Yes.
Okay. All right, that's easy.
Oh, you want me to elaborate?
Nah, you don't have to. I'm
Okay,
cool with
okay.
that. I'm cool with that.
Okay.
Let me see here. Where we at? Eastwood. What excuses sounds best when you say it?
Even though I shouldn't really have excuses and stuff, I am guilty.
Right.
I will use. I'll give an example. I'm running late because there is traffic, or one that I utilize a little bit more frequently is that I'm at the plant and there is a line of trucks ahead of me.
Hey man, you messing up your money, man. You messing up. You don't know who on. You might not. You don't know who on Great Bears Matter first, man. Don't mess your bread up, man. Don't do that. Yeah. Hey man. Hey bro, we trapping never napping, goddamn. Yo, okay, bet. All right. Question number 3. If your older self watched you, what would he warn you of?
I would say my older self would warn me of being too promiscuous at a young age
Hmm.
and having children out of wedlock. My biggest, and my older self would tell me, if it could, yeah, I think that's what the question was. What my older self warned me of. I mean,
Yep.
is that you are not going to be able to effectively raise your children as you would if you was in that house as a nuclear family, husband and wife. And so that's something that I struggle with every single day. Because you do see little changes, or you see where you don't have that direct influence due to not being inside your children's life. And that's due to me in my younger age, chase and tail, just being honest, right?
I can dig it.
So, yeah,
So
that right there would
let
be
me
my
ask you
biggest
this
one.
though. Let me ask you this then.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So let me give you
Mm-hmm.
from a Great Bridge Matter lens point. So without challenges, no pun intended, you wouldn't have the growth that you have now, right? Because
Absolutely.
the almost 40-year-old Neo
Mm-hmm.
doesn't have the same mindset and understanding that the 17, early 20-year-old Neo had, right? So
Absolutely.
the late teen, early 20-year-old Neo might not even have the discernment to understand what the older you would tell you, right? Nor would
Absolutely.
he really possibly be trying to hear that because tell is tell. You know what I mean?
Come on now.
Right? So
Yep.
we
Yep.
understand that, right? And it's not just one sided. Tail chases the broom. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So we get it, man.
Facts.
But my charge for you on that though, young brother, is understanding that um you can't go back and alter what you did as a youngin, right? But you can reflect on what you did and have that impact how you function as a man, right? So without
Yeah.
getting too deep
Yeah.
and off topic, right? So every male's not a man, right? We just got the same
Mm-hmm.
appendages. Dig what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
now you're in the
Absolutely.
stage in your life where you are a man, you doing man shit, and you conducting yourself as such. So by all means, don't beat yourself up on what you didn't do. Set yourself up for success on what you want to do. And the baby's not
Yeah.
lacking. You know what I'm saying? They know who
Yeah.
you are,
Mm-hmm.
and it's up to
Yeah.
you, not the baby mama, not society, to make sure that you affect that constantly.
Yes.
All right, bet.
Absolutely, bro.
I'm gonna get off
Most
my grade.
definitely.
Okay, bet. We on number 4. Let me see. What truth would your friend say about you? Woo, that's a
What
tough one. Yeah,
truth?
yeah, yeah, yeah.
That is,
But see,
because there's quite a
there's two words in there that
go
really
ahead.
affect this question. And I try not to alter questions in this hot 5 at 6, but the word truth and word friends is really. Mm. But yeah, go ahead, man. I'm gonna let you holler about that.
Mm. Let's see. I would probably say, I'll probably say the truth would definitely be, at least from what I have heard from them say to others,
Mm-hmm.
is that I'm selfless. I mean, so those who are, I would say, the definition of a friend
Uh huh.
will probably say the truth is that he's a selfless man, because I would say a few of my good friends really are employed by me, and they can say without a doubt, I don't even eat or even take care of my mortgage because I need to make sure they're okay so I can continue to be able to eat. My father used to say, um, you know, he don't get to eat until he put food on the table for the rest of the men first. And that's because a lot of payments and stuff are contractual with net 45, 60, and 90. But at the end of the day, man, I won't even be able to see that unless I be able to take care of, my fellow friends, which is the majority of people that work for me.
Right. So
And
okay,
so I would
okay.
say selfless.
I like that.
Because no matter what, I make sure they're good. Nah, I just eat crow sometimes.
So dig, right? So let's go back to the previous question then, good brother. Right, where you
Mm-hmm.
said that you were not judging yourself on your desire for tail, but when you I don't want to give the ladies too much of our game, but anyhow, so when we young on a male mindset and we on that tail chasing, that's selfish, right? Right?
Yep.
But
Yeah, I
see
was very
now
selfish. Yep.
you are older on man time and you're selfless. So I'm gonna charge you to give yourself the small trophies, man, and understand that's just process, it's progress in this process of life. I ain't even gonna hold you down on that. Last question, good brother. Last question.
Yes, sir.
Last question. What are you tolerating that you shouldn't be?
Mm. 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 I would probably say this goes back to not being able to have you know uh, the type of impact I would truly like within the household of some of the children. Um, One of the children, she's the oldest. I mean, from the ex-wife, and uh, the mother doesn't really have good relations with people and family. And so she does a lot of talking to my daughter, and so now her
Mm.
behavior is starting to reflect that of her mom's, and it hurt my mother, right? Because my mom was in the midst of it.
Right.
Mind you, my mom is by far like my biggest everything in regards to taking care of the children, whether I was in the military, TDY, whatever, all the way up to civilian, and now doing this. If it wasn't for my mom, these kids won't make it to none of these practices or anything that they do.
Right.
And so for my daughter, behavior to start to change, and and knowing the root where it's coming from, and stuff. I'm trying to be very very delicate, not to potentially ruin relations with her or to her mom, to be able to script her mind in a fashion where it will start to affect us, right? And I would probably say that's probably my biggest thing. And so while I'm at work, or work, I say in regards to work, only because of the weather, but when I'm even on the road, majority of my miles last year was trying to figure out in my mind how to be able to deal with this, and I say, do I nip it in the bud? I mean, do I try to G-check, or even professionally, or in a respectful way with the mom, knowing that she's not in the right mindset to be able to have such conversations. And so this is what I struggle with while I'm on the road, and the road definitely allows me to be able to keep myself in that smiling, happy way that everybody knows me as. Because Lord knows when I'm on that road, bro, I'm talking, my mind is toe up. It's
I
toe
can.
up.
Hey,
But
but
I feel good after I get off the bike, though. I
right.
worked it out over the thousands of miles.
So that's the gift and the curse that we have when it comes to this motorcycle, right? So
Yeah.
I everybody can say what they want to say, bro. But I don't care who you are, man. If you get to an age and you have the ability to view others and be honest with yourself, everybody has luggage, man. They have baggage, right? And
Absolutely.
some people just feel that because they tuck their handles away that their baggage doesn't exist, but that's not true, right? But back to your situation that you're dealing with, man, and what you tolerate. And I'm gonna try to be real delicate as I navigate through this my reply to you. Um,
Yeah.
as a man and as a father, right, and an ex, which is probably the most might be the most critical thing that we component that we talk about in this reply. you spend the least amount of time with your daughter between her and her mom, right?
Correct.
All right, cool. So that means your voice is heard the least,
Yeah, absolutely.
right? So we had an episode we had an episode a couple weeks ago called the human algorithm, right? The human algorithm is kind of based off what we're talking about here. The human algorithm ain't got doesn't have anything to do with social media unless that's the platform that you're using to get off what you're trying to your narrative.
Yeah.
Would we as parents of not we, my kids is grown now, but you as a parent of younger children, if you and the other parent are on the same page, then you have to worry about what that other algorithm is going on to them babies' ears, right? So
Yeah.
sometimes if you have discord, you have to really be conscious of what's being digested, right? And your
Mm-hmm.
challenge is going to be that you won't know what that is until it shows up. No, and
Right.
I hate
Right.
that your mom had to go through that, but then you have to be delicate on how you de-edify your children's mom to their kids, because
Mm-hmm.
when you're at work, that milk comes from mama. You dig what I'm saying? And
Absolutely.
as versed as you are, and as good as you are with girls, your hands is still man hands, and
Mm-hmm.
you got to be really cognizant of how you balance your parenting versus your personal. Because if it wasn't personal, then y'all would still be in that situation that allowed y'all to, you know, collaborate as parents. But we
Yeah.
could talk about offline on that, man. We're not even gonna get too heavy on this, on that part. But yeah, bro, I commend you on that, man. As a parent, as an entrepreneur, as a motorcycle rider, man. It's your first time coming in to the Great Beards Matter podcast, and I appreciate you being here, man, and doing a hot five at 6, good brother.
Absolutely. Anytime. I sincerely appreciate it. And you know, what I mean, this right here definitely was well needed and stuff. Cause like I said, a brother was going through it this week. You know,
Hey,
and
hey, bro,
you know, that's why.
for sure, man,
Woo.
for sure. Hey, real talk, man. Without getting the whole, because I appreciate you being as transparent as you were. So, I had to make an admission myself that took me 25 years to admit to, right? And then when I finally did, it allowed me to open an avenue of exchange and dialogue with somebody that I didn't realize how much I missed, right? Or how much I needed that dialogue. And then when I reflect back on it, I got to ask myself, well, cause why did it take 25 years? And I really don't have an
Yeah.
answer. You know what I mean?
Mm.
So during that conversation, it was open, it was candid, it was needed, and it was it was ultimately it was an opportunity to have more, and I love
Yeah.
that the most. So yo, man, I appreciate you, good brother, man. I'm gonna see you soon, though. I know what kind of time you on.
Absolutely, big brother.
All
And
right, dog,
and definitely see you soon. Soon.
my
You
man.
know what I'm talking
Already,
about.
for sure.
Absolutely. Appreciate you.
Appreciate you, good dog. Yo, that was my man Neo Cigar, man. He tuned into the Gray Beards Matter podcast, and he got on the hot five at 6, man. So, hey, man, episode 14, Gray Beards Matter podcast, where we are the mature authority. I appreciate you tuning in. Like my man K Soda, the writer, said, yes, we are on YouTube. I will be post editing this here and sharing the link soon. So, yo, check out this on YouTube, man. Gray Beards Matter podcast. Like, share, subscribe. We're trying to get there. Every 50, we giving out some merch from me to you. And I appreciate y'all tuning in tonight, man. Every Friday at 6 o'clock p.m. with a happy hour. Don't you worry about nothing. I'm your man, Big Clip Eastwood, a.k.a. Mr. Gray Beards Matter. Don't you worry about nothing. Yeah.